Hey guys, everything CNC here. Today I wanted to do a little topic on grooving. I got some people requesting for grooving and threading, so I'm gonna try and do the 4 major grooving toolpaths as quick as I can. I already showed you how to set up a page, a blank page, and then fill out a couple of informations as far as edge facing and bar out, so I'm not going to do those again. I'll just go over it briefly. I apologize for the quality and the huge delay in shooting any more videos, but until I get my new camera, should be here in a couple of weeks, I'm going to go ahead and do this for you, okay? So we have just a basic cylinder, 4 inches in length and 2 inches in diameter. We're going to start off with a raw stock of 2.5 inches that we're going to turn down. These are the 4 grooving types. I'm going to go ahead and go over them, and I'm just going to make up a fake thread here. I'll say, what is it here? 1.5 10 or 1.5 12, whatever you guys want to do. We'll go ahead and go over it just to show you the basic threading toolpath. And then another video, we'll go ahead and do some ID turning, boring, and stuff like that. But I'm going to see how I'm going to lay out this for future videos. So for now, we have our aluminum here. Just put down whatever you want. 2.5 inch diameter raw stock. Okay, so that's going to be the starting point for all our X moves. Don't worry about the inside. We don't have a hole in there already on the fixture. Damn, my fingers are greasy. Hopefully it doesn't smudge it up too much. Our length is 4 inches, but remember, you got to add extra material for your facing operation to clean up the raw stock on the face, and then you got to add, if you're going to part off, the thickness of the tool and how much material you're leaving extra. Otherwise it'll give you an error and say, hey, you want to machine more than what material you gave me. We're going to finish with aluminum. I always finish 5 thousandths on the X, and I finish 5 thousandths on the Z, which is the face of the material, and I always remove typically 25 thousandths from the face of the material if it's a bar stock. So we have our edge face under unit number 1. Okay, we're going to start with a roughing surface feet of 1200, and we're going to finish with the surface feet of 1200. This is just for an example. Okay, you could definitely take heavier cuts, but you know, for me, I'll do 10 thousandths in this video of depth step over, and 10 thousandths step down for a facing, and 25 thousandths step over for depth of cut. Our roughing tool is 1 and finishing tool is 1. Our starting point for X is going to be at the diameter of our stock or more. Okay, you never want to start below the stock, otherwise you'll crash the tool on X. We're going to go from a positive X 2.5 to an X of 0, which is center of the part. And we're going to start 25 thousandths away from the material and finish at Z0, which is the face of the part. And we're going to leave a finishing of 3 thousandths per step over, or per revolution. And we're going to bar out 2.5 inches starting point on X, and we're going to start at Z0 because we already finished our face to Z0, so we no longer have to leave an extension of stock material. And we're going to do 1200, 1200, 10 thousandths step over per revolution at a depth cut of 25 thousandths. So every time the part rotates, we're going to step over 10 thousandths, digging into the material 25 thousandths deep. Okay, that's how that goes. 1 and 1 are going to be my tool numbers again, and it's going to be aligned with the chamfer of 5 thousandths. So just on the very front end, we're just going to kill that corner. I use it as deburring, as probably 90% of all other machine shops do. They throw like a 5 thousandths around it. You'll find. And we're going to finish it to a diameter of 2 and a length of 4 inches. Usually you're going to want to leave material more for when you flip it around and you face it. You'll have, 10 thousandths extra material there, and to pass the cutter radius, past the point of where you want it to machine finish to, and 3,000 step over. So let's just get right into the grooving. Okay, for the first groove, we're going to go ahead and do this guy. You're going to select the number that looks like that. Okay, we're grooving to a total diameter of 1.75. okay, and that's from the inside there. So if you were to take calipers and you were to measure it, that's the number you would get. That's how you program these guys. Now, these ones get programmed from Z0 onto this face, or when you look at it, it's going to be up here. Okay, so from Z0 to the first part of the face. And how you can double check that is going into the mode. We're going to say we're going to groove. It's going to be an outside groove. and it is number 2, okay? But if you ever get stuck, and sometimes I forget as well, click over one and click help, and that will display all the information you need. I mean, everything you need. It tells you your start point, your finish point. It gives you an example of pitch. It tells you what number and what correlates to what number and what shape, and it tells you, okay, if I program this guy, you are going to calculate from Z0, which is this guy here, back out here, and then when you tell it its width, it's going to calculate this direction, okay? So start, finish, and this direction. If you say a number 1, you're going to calculate it from Z0, and this is going to be your starting point, okay? From Z0 to here, and when you type in your width, it's going to work back in this direction, okay? So that's how that works. But right now, we are going to go ahead and do this guy right here, and it from Z0 to the front starting point is going to be 1.25, okay? So we're going to go ahead and click number 1. Oh, I'm sorry. This will mirror that side onto here. We are going to use number 2, okay? And it's going to be number of grooves. It's just going to be 1. If you were to put more than 1, you could tell it, hey, from here to there, I want to do like 5 grooves, and it'll do the pitch just like a thread, okay? Grooving pitch, just hit enter. Don't need to worry about it. The width of the groove is 0.250, 0.250, okay? The finish, we'll just say 0.003, and that's how much stock it's going to leave to tick off. Surface feed for that, we'll say 500 and 500 finishing. And then feed rate per rough cut for revolution, we'll say 0.003 as well. You can do whatever you want, find out what works best. Material reacts widely different from material to material, so you'll just have to look that up in a machinist handbook or figure it out. Rough max depth of cut is going to be 0.025. We'll just go, you could say way more than that, but like I said, for example purposes, this is what we're going to do. And our roughing tool number, we'll say 3, because that's what it is on the machine here. And I'm sorry, 2 is what it is, and 2. I have to say the actual tool in order to see the back plot, because it calculates all the information from the tool. So if you do not have the tool set up, or you incorrectly select the tool number, and you don't have it configured in the computer for your tool offsets and stuff, it won't show you the correct tool path, or it will give you an error and just won't show you anything at all. So you got to make sure when you select the tool, it already has to be defined in the computer. You don't need to actually have the tool in the machine and set up, but you need to have it defined. And that goes to this page back here, tool data, and we select number 2. You say groove out. I have a 93 thousandths thickness cutter, and each side of the cutter is going to be 4 thousandths in radius, okay? So that's what I mean by that. To go back, go program, and then hit program one more time in order to edit. And let me scroll back down. Okay, our radius, we don't need to worry about that right now. Our starting point on X is going to be the 2 inches that we turned it down to up here. Started at 2.5 to 2. Okay, our starting point on Z is going to be, let's see here, it's 1.25 from the face to back here, because if you remember when we clicked help, it said that we start from that direction. And we'll go back and show you that real quick. Click help. Oh, whoops, wrong section here, program. So when you go over and you select, you see these, you just click over and help for that information. It says number 2. Starting point is here. Start point, finish point. So wherever I start, wherever I finish, and then I hit the menu. Oh, let me close that. Okay. And now we'll go ahead and go back to the program here. So 1.250. Okay. Final point on X is going to be 1.75. That is the diameter of the finished groove. So that is this guy, from the inside diameter of where you would measure the calipers, or hopefully blade mic, you know, be a little bit more precise. And then the final point on Z, to get an image of the angle. So you start up top, and then wherever you finish. If you finish on the Z point the same as here, it'll just be a straight box. If you wanted to finish over a little bit, we'll say we started at 1.25, let's say 1.35, okay? So now we're gonna start and finish at a little bit of an angle. Don't worry about the corner radius and the angle. You could say an angle, you know, and it'll calculate it automatically for you. But feed rate per rev, we'll say 0.003, okay? And there you go. So let's check it out. Program, toolpath, part shape, check continue. Oh, whoops, check continue, there we go. Roughing, finishing, and now it's stepping in and doing an angle and finishing, okay? Let's go ahead and toolpath erase, check continue. Once it gets close, I'll go ahead and, oh, okay. Let me zoom in, scale change. And then I'm gonna say 0.5, okay? Part shape, check continue. Once it gets close here. Okay, so it's going down, then it's stepping over and cutting more relief. Then it's gonna step over, cut more relief, okay? And now it's gonna come in and finish. Okay, here it goes. There you go. So that is your start point. That is your finish point. Remember, we started